I would pick a word out of what you just said in the last 60 seconds. That's the
Mm.
key. And the word is observe. Observe.
Observe.
You
Mm.
can't think until you observe. What do I
Mm.
see? What do I see that's out of order? I'll give an example. And many of the books I write, I observe. You gave one, sustainability. Leaders know what they should do, but they don't do it. Well, that's an
Mm.
observation. That's a simple observation. Another one that led us to a lot of work is what makes an effective leader? And everybody's
Mm.
got a competence model. Here's the skills of leadership, blah, 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 blah.
Mm.
That led us to the concept of leadership brand because an effective leader helps the company succeed in the marketplace. So you need a brand inside that reflects outside. We
Mm.
did 2 or 3 books on 2 companies in the same industry,
Mm.
Pepsi and Coke. They're in the same industry, and they're both sold in Vietnam. If they both earn 100, they don't have the same stock price. Why is that?
Mm.
2 firms in the same industry have the same earnings. One gets 20% premium and the other is down. Why?
Mm.
That led us to work on investor value, intangible value. The investors give the 100 of one company a premium and they don't give that to the other company. So what I love to do is observe. What do I see? I'm seeing right now with you, the next generation. They're changing jobs more than they've ever seen it before. Why is that? What is that? And is that a risk? Is it bad to change jobs for the company, for the employee?
Mm.
One of the things I've just been observing and listening, I think the next generation, those born after 2000, I think they've grown up in a time, and I'm not sure if this is as true in Vietnam, where there's a lack of trust. We don't trust government. We don't trust religion. We don't trust television. And I think that group, having grown up with a lack of trust, is out saying, so what is truth? What is the
Mm.
right way to do things? And they don't have a good answer for that. And by the way, that's when I've been observing lately. I'll probably write something about that in the next few weeks because I try to observe. And that's the word that I'd circle, Ha, from you and your wife observe. We observe our children. We observe Steve and his wife and their family. I observe the companies where I work. I observe the television. And when I observe things, I go, what just doesn't feel quite right? What's different about that? And then think about it. That for me is where the thinking comes from. Is very, very good observation.
But if somebody don't have that ability to observing things, where can they do the baby step to start to build that strength though?
Yeah, I'm going to go back to where I started. Observe the organizations where you live and work. What do you see in your family? What do you see that's different between you and the family of Steve and his wife? How are we different? And observe simple things. What are the routines at dinner? I mean, that's pretty simple. Do we, on Sunday, whatever the weekend day, do we have family to dinner? Where do people sit? How do they eat? Do they pray? Do they not pray? How
Mm.
do they handle food? Do they eat a lot? Do they eat a little? How do they talk? Just
Mm.
observe your family versus somebody else's family and start with really obvious things. And then observe let's say you buy food in stores in Vietnam. Go to 2 different stores. What did I see? What did I feel? One store I felt comfortable. The other store I didn't feel as comfortable. Why is that? What did I see? What made the difference in that? Or a restaurant. We all have a restaurant we like to go to. Why do I go back to that restaurant? Well, I know the people. I know the menu. The people greet me by name. Ha, it's nice to see you again. Thank you and your wife for coming. And I observe what drives me and what the organization does that makes that work for me. In a restaurant, the organization says, when Ha and his family come, you'll always serve them and you'll have the same waiter or waitress so that they feel comfortable in your restaurant. That's a simple organizational practice that gets you to come back more often. So I'd encourage people to observe. Watch a movie. How did the organization get reflected in the movie? Read a book. How did the organization get reflected? I wrote papers back decades ago on Shakespeare, King
Ah.
Lear, and how he used power in Shakespeare. Again, I turned it into my English professor, and they said, that's weird. And my organization professor said, that's fascinating. And so I think I just encourage somebody to start observing and keep track of what you see.
Wonderful. Thank you.